Can you prove why it's objectively wrong?
Well, I don't believe it's wrong. As a Christian, that's what the Bible tells us.
Oh, you think it is right to grape?
Well, it depends if God tells you to do so.
Get Bjorn in here. I said, Bridget, get Bjorn in here. I don't care that... Whoa, we're on? Okay, sorry. We're here in Sweden. And if you want to come to Sweden, it would be good. Come for the Galma stand. Stay for the Drottningholm Palace. Yeah, that's right. We're in Sweden, and it is Bad Bible Debates with Mezzo and Joel, which should be Mezzo and Joel, right? But no, it's just Joel. It's just Joel because Mezzo is, I guess, shooting a commercial right now. You know, we both showed up to the studio. They're shooting a commercial next door for some sort of Swedish chocolate or something like that. And they just, I guess, and I quote, like the look of the Mezzo one. And so now the Mezzo one is over there, and he's getting to be on Swedish television. He's getting to be in a commercial, and it's also going to air in the airport. Bridget, I need you to get Bjorn in here right now because I want to be in a commercial. He can't be the only one that gets to be in commercials and on TV. Like, I think it's in the contract somewhere where it says both of us are no one. I want to see Bjorn Forgendigel Justin right now. Sorry, I shouldn't drag you guys into this. Why don't you listen to the first clip? It's just another Christian excusing God killing the firstborn son of a slave girl as collateral damage to punishing Pharaoh. It's ridiculous. People shouldn't be doing this. It's 2025. Grow up, Christians. Get over this stupid crap. Sorry, I'm in a bad mood. Enjoy the clip. Blackheart, are you a Christian?
Yeah, I am, bro. I'm Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe that we should have some sort of moral standards or laws that we should be living by? Yes or no?
Well, yeah, we do sort of sort those out amongst ourselves and with each other, and we do set those. That's what the laws are, and like sort of social.
Oh, okay. So then you agree with me. Thank you.
What do I agree with you on?
Jesus setting these laws and all of this things that he did. There's a reason all behind it.
Let me read this verse, and you can just tell me where the justice is, and we can decide whether or not we think God is all just. Okay? Exodus chapter 11, verse 5. You'll remember the story. It's when God was going to kill all the firstborns of Egypt. Remember that?
Okay, continue.
Okay. This is God speaking through Moses and saying, every firstborn son in Egypt will die, from the firstborn son of Pharaoh who sits on the throne. And I'm going to pause here because I'm going to say, I understand that is a punishment for Pharaoh. That is Pharaoh's kid. And so it's really socking it to Pharaoh. I get that. There is a complaint. Like, it wasn't his fault, but I'm not going to be making that argument today. And so you do not need to speak to it, okay? But this is the problem. To the firstborn son of the female slave who is at her handmill. So now God is saying, I'm going to kill the firstborn child of a slave. Now, slaves are forced labor. They don't have autonomy. They basically are owned. They're captives of their owner. There's no reason to punish them. They're not sitting there doing things freely. This is a good indicator that God is not just.
Okay, so first of all, anytime we're going to be talking about the Old Testament, I'm not going to sit here and act like it was some good times. That was some rough times. There's a lot of...
That was in the Old Testament. We don't read the shit in the Old Testament. I'm not even sure why it's still in print, but that's the dickish God from the Old Testament.
I don't like it
Sure,
either.
he told you how to keep them slaves, and yes, he commanded you to kidnap babes. Only one small tribe were his personal faves, but no one worships the God from the Old Testament. Do they? Do they?
They wouldn't worship that God. Nobody would worship. Wait, do you worship that God, Yahweh?
This is why it's ridiculous arguing with a man-child like you. Everything goes
That's
in
a
1
cool
year.
song.
Whenever
cool
you
song,
go on,
Blackheart.
say
Just
some
relax
nonsense
and
here.
continue with your point.
You just dance around everything, bro.
So
All of
because
this,
it's in the
Listen,
Old
bro.
Testament and
No,
God
you
is
didn't even let me
immutable and
finish. This is
unchangeable.
all
Because it's in
You can weep, you can
I'm
cry
trying.
yourself to sleep, but baby, you need to grow up and stop believing fairy tales.
Blackheart, listen. So this
play
is
dumbass
stop with the
childish
meta
music.
commentary. If you stop with the meta commentary, we're
jump
back
off
in the
every
conversation.
point.
We were talking about God being just, and you were going to tell me how God, who's immutable, and the Yahweh, who is also Jesus, they're the same fucking guy, how it's just that he kills a slave girl's son.
I'm not God. I can't tell you the reason why he did everything he did.
Right?
Nobody claimed.
His ways are higher. Who cares if the world's a mess? His ways are higher. I'm too blessed to be
His way
stressed.
you jumped off every single
His
point.
ways are higher. I'm gonna say it with my chest.
His ways are higher. I don't know the
His ways are
answer.
higher. This is a big barbaric test. Just pawns in a game of chess. But it doesn't make me love him less. I'm too blessed to be stressed.
Blackheart, just so you know, I wouldn't have to play a song every
child.
2 seconds if you had any sort of substance. My argument is that it is not just to kill someone's child when they have no agency in what they're being killed for. For like whatever went wrong, whatever went wrong in
This is what you
Egypt,
do.
whatever
Ignore
they're being
everything I
punished
just
for,
said and hang on to this
it's
one point.
wrong. It's
There's no
wrong
point of
for
arguing.
God
You
to
just ignored
punish.
everything I said. You're holding on
You're
to
such
this
a moron.
point.
You're such a moron. You're so vapid. You have
don't-
nothing to
you don't
offer.
address nothing. Nobody's.
Tell me what I'm
Wait,
missing. Tell me what I'm not addressing.
brother. You just keep holding on to the same.
Tell
thing.
me what
Why
I'm
don't
not
you just
addressing.
speak
I'll
on
address
the-
it.
Why don't you just speak on what I just spoke?
Tell
for
me.
the past
Okay, what was
minute?
it? Remind me.
I'm a moron, right? Why do I have to?
I forgot. Okay, I forgot. It's my fault. I'm the moron. What did I miss? What do you want me to speak to?
So let's go back. The first, when I brought up at least 5 different points for you in the first argument,
we were
of the
dealing with
sacrifice,
God being just because you said he has to do.
and
'cause
you
he's
ignored
just.
everything, and you're basically just going, "Nuh-uh."
I'm like,
nuh-uh.
no, I'm saying he's not just, and I showed you that it's not just to kill someone who
No, but you
didn't
said-
have any age. I think I'm doing an argument here, speaking to
No, no.
exactly what you're saying.
You said you ignored everything. You basically just said, "Nuh-uh."
Well, not true, and I'll explain
let me ask
it.
you
I'll
something.
explain it
Let me
again.
ask
No,
you
let me speak to that
Exactly,
because you're
exactly. Okay,
no,
go speak.
This is okay. I'm going to say this again. How is it just for God to kill the firstborn son of a female slave when the female slave has no agency in all the things that the thing that God is punishing the Egyptians for?
What verse are you talking about? I want to look up the verse you're talking about.
Exodus 11 verse 5. There's nothing like in that chapter or in the story that's going to help us with it being just that God kills the firstborn son of the female slave. That's horrific. God is not just.
Wait, hold on. Did you say punishing someone? What were you saying?
You were just reading chapter 11 verse 5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted you to tell me how it's just for God to kill the firstborn son of the female slave, a slave who does not have the agency or autonomy to choose what's going on. So why is it just?
That there's all the evil in the world. First of all the evil in the world. I love when people say shit like this. Oh, why did these innocent kids die? All of the evil in the world is caused by, exactly in this case, the master. So, like I said, everything is just. Everything has to be paid for. Unfortunately, sometimes it goes. That's how it went in the Old Testament. If you look back at what was happening,
Yeah,
in the
but
Old Testament,
unfortunately, that's how it went. So listen, I'm going to ask you again. So God, he's all powerful. He can do whatever he wants. He doesn't have to kill the firstborn son of the female slave. In this case, he chooses to, as some kind of a punishment. To me, that does not seem just. Can you explain how it's just?
because that evil was onset by those people. In this case, the master. Don't look at God as if God is just doing this for no reason.
I know why he's doing it, but it's not
Okay.
just.
It is, because that is the law set by God.
What's the law? That if
What do
a
you mean?
master does something wrong,
No. Don't say
God
something.
will kill
these are literally
the slaves.
These are literally
kids.
the most evil, sick, and twisted people in all of human history. If you look back what they were doing, cutting off the heads of babies, sacrificing them.
That's not
What you
really
want
true.
God, you
That's
want God
not
to
true.
give. Yeah,
That's
what
not
do you
true.
mean, bro? You have never read the Bible. This is
Okay,
exactly what I'm
go
talking
show
about.
me some scriptures that show
I
us
don't,
that
bro,
that's
what
what
do you think? I'm a
Egyptians
human
were
dictionary. I don't
doing.
have them on me.
I think you're just
Okay.
mixing them up with other nations.
No, I'm not, bro. You know what these people were doing back in the Old Testament? That shows how ignorant you are. Exactly.
No,
You say
show me
no.
verses.
So you
Show
don't
me
even know what-
verses. Show
I don't
me
have verses on me, bro, because I don't have the verses written on the back of my
Yeah.
head.
All the claims I make might seem made up
Exactly,
and
bro.
fake, but I know
my point, bro.
Trust me, bro. These things are things that I know. If you think my rhetoric is tired or I sound like a liar, no. Trust me, bro.
I do know why God did that. I was playing a little dumb, okay? The reason why God killed the child of the slave girl was because that would hurt Pharaoh. Because God doesn't see people like slaves as people. He doesn't see them as having any intrinsic value. That's all he's doing. It's just that the God character, who is just people writing it, don't see slaves as people. And we see that all throughout the Bible.
Mr. Big Stuff, who do I think I am? Mr. Big Stuff. I am I'm Mr. Big Stuff. Hey everyone, Big Stuff Mezzo here. Want an autograph? Just kidding. Kind of. Am I? I don't know. I just shot my first commercial. No big deal. You want to hear it, Joel? Joel? Where are you going? Joel? Whoa. Rude. Well, I'll say it for you all. Louder House Chocolate. Cover your lover in this creamy hot ganache. So smooth, it'll make you come all over the floor. I probably should have warned you in advance. In Europe, they make their commercials a bit more racy. It's kind of a sexualized thing. Sorry, I didn't say that before. Here we go. Get your tits dipped in this buttery brown sweet treat. Louder House. We put the cock in cacao. Ow! It's pretty good, right? I might be able to quit this whole podcast business now that I'm a successful commercial actor. But until I get paid, here we are. And this next clip is a doozy, so have fun listening to it. Sounds like my payday has just got delivered. Money, 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 money. Chocolate.
BPDs.
So this is your chance if you want to. You don't have to. You're welcome to share a testimony or some miracle that happened to you or something that might be convincing.
Yeah, I absolutely think any one of us could have personal revelation of Jesus Christ, just by asking in our heart, are you real? Asking God if he's real. You don't want to get stuck in fear or anxiety, because fear or anxiety are out of the presence of God, and he wants us in the presence of God, or in the presence of his
in
love.
In the Bible, it says you're supposed to fear the Lord. That's kind of like one of the things of the Bible,
Sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the fear of the Lord is a different fear than like the fear of death. Like when we look at the apocalypse, it seems fearful that all these stones are going to fall out of the sky. But these are symbolic of righteous judgments in our life that actually, if we accept them, they're loving.
But God is going to send rocks down, right?
Maybe there's one passage that's talking about that, but it's.
I don't know the passage. I don't really read the Bible that much. I used to when I was a Christian. I have one now, so I look at it for these lives. But I find a lot of it to be kind of horrific. It kind of makes it even more fearful.
Yeah, and so I don't find those verses scary anymore unless I'm not living out his will for my life, because then I'm calling upon judgment.
And the judgment is death, right?
Well, the judgment, the covenant that brings judgment is a covenant with death.
Do God's will or death.
Yeah, but it's also another way to say it is fall in love with love and live.
Fall in love with love and live. But it's or else. Like that, you can't just ignore that there's an or else there, right?
Yeah, but the or else is also another way to say the or else is fall in love with death and die.
What if I don't want to be tormented in hell forever, but I also don't want to follow God's will? Is there an option there?
Not really. You don't want to be in a house divided, because you can't serve two masters, right? You can't serve the world and the spirit of love.
Oh, I'm not trying to serve any masters. I want to not have a master. That's what I'm saying. So yeah. I don't want to be tormented in hell forever. I do also want to not have to worship God. I don't believe in him. And I think that if the Bible's true, then God's a scary guy.
I'd be afraid to be under his wrath, but I believe that he wants the best.
That's the part. It's the wrath. That's the part. I think that's the right word for it. The wrath is the scary part. I think wrath is like not a good thing to have. The Old Testament's bad, right? You know that, right?
I know that for me in my life, it's bad for me to judge what I can't quite conceive of. So when I accept the Old Testament as a message of love, then I receive grace from it.
Cool. I mean, I'm glad you get grace from it, but back then people were like being enslaved by it. Back then people were being cut up into pieces by it, right? So that isn't good. That isn't something that I look at and go, "Oh, that's nice. At least I'm okay."
Yeah, God was trying to redeem a world, a fallen world, and the way to do that was through
infant baby slaughter.
Well, suffering was a result of our of disobedience.
Oh, that's I get that actions have consequences, but I don't think that the consequences that he laid out are just compared to the actions.
Yeah.
So like if you like slap me really hard in the face and then I never talk to you again, that's a consequence. Like I'm not going to talk to you anymore. That seems like an okay consequence. But if you slap me in the face and then I like burn you and your family and your grandchildren, that's like too harsh of a revenge. That's too harsh of a consequence. You know what I mean? There's no justice there.
You know, on faith, I take it that I have a soul, and that soul, that God loves it, and regardless of what happens to me in the flesh, God wants me to be with him. Like everything that happens here is just a shadow passing, you know?
I'm not sure how that like relates to what we're talking. Like we're kind of talking about how some of the stuff that God used to do is so bad and scary. And you were saying that you're not worried about that. And then I was saying, I think it's still bad for the people back then. And then you're saying that you have a soul. I'm not sure what the connection is here. The method that he's doing this is horrendous, is what I'm saying. If that's what he really wants, and he's like, oh, I really want these people to stop suffering. Oh, I have to have them chop each other's babies. Like, what? Like, what method are you choosing to do this? It's horrendous. That's the point I'm making.
I can't myself judge it. But I know that he's here with me, and if we accept him, and that's where the cross is. I don't have the wisdom to judge it.
Oh, I'll do it. Yeah, I'll say like slavery's bad. The way God said to do slavery in the Old Testament is bad. I judge that as bad. Do you agree with me, or do you agree with the Old Testament on that one?
I think God wanted to redeem us from those times. So yeah, I mean, I don't think slavery is ideal, but it depends what we think of slavery, because I think it's good to be a slave of Christ.
In the Old Testament, it's slaves to people. Do you think owning people and forcing them to work and like beating them and owning their children is good or bad?
It's not good, because the law wasn't good. The law wasn't enough to redeem us. So like
that's God's law.
Yeah, it was a law of creation, of disobedience. Of what happens to creation when the I amness of man is disobedient.
Right. I don't know if what you're saying makes sense though. I'm a little worried that it might not be making any sense. Are you worried about that at all?
No, no, I'm not worried about it. I mean, I could probably do better at talking.
Or also just like your condemnation. So like if I told you I am a slave owner and I own some people, would you say that I'm good or bad?
I mean, I don't think that would be enough. We pay more taxes down.
You're just terrible then, is what you're saying. Like, you're just like, oh, slavery's not so bad. You're okay with it.
A lot of slaves might have had it better back then than people do now, because we pay more in taxes.
No, my slaves, I beat them and I force them to work for me, and then I have them in my will so that when I die, my children will own them too.
Yeah, I would say do unto others as you would want done to you.
Right. So are you saying that this is good then?
No, I would say it's probably not good for you or the slaves. No,
I would say that too. I think I figured that you had that in your heart. You just didn't want to say it about God. You don't mind judging me. That's fine. But judging God is scary for you because you're worried about the death part, the wrath.
I don't want to judge you unrighteously. And I don't feel like I've spoken a judgment so much over your life. But
let me ask you this. Do you own any slaves?
No, I don't.
Okay, so in the area of slavery, I judge you as good then. I think that you're doing good as far as like owning slaves go. Do you think it's okay to own slaves?
Yeah, I think we were redeemed from that world, so I would say no, not anymore.
Not okay. So in the area of thinking it's okay to own slaves, I'm going to judge you as good. Except, actually, I got to take that back because you're saying it used to be good.
I mean, it is a confusing topic, I don't think it's not.
No, it's really not. Like, owning people is never okay is the right answer. It's okay to say that, unless you don't if you don't believe. I don't want you to say things you don't believe. you would say like a human owning someone is always terrible. Every time that's ever happened has been awful. You could say something like that, or you could like weasel around. Like those are kind of the two options, I think.
Yeah, I mean, weasel's a judgment, you know.
No, weaseling
But,
just like to get out of the question, to like try and say like some other things instead of like facing the topic straight on.
Yeah, I mean, you're asking me to judge the Old Testament law, and like I can't do that. Like I just don't have the wisdom to do it. I believe now that slavery is bad, but the world we live in now is quite different, and so are the definitions that we use.
So you're saying maybe slavery used to be good. You don't know.
I think the law was meant to be good, but man corrupted himself and abused the law.
The law is how to have slaves, though. Do you understand? Like, which I'm talking about a law from God that says how to own slaves. So that
But,
law
like-
is bad, or that law is good?
Well, what's the ideal? Is the ideal that everybody would would everybody just beat their slaves, or is the ideal that you would love your slave?
Oh, the ideal is no slaves.
Yeah, but we have slavery today. Yeah, people are forced into labor today because they have to, otherwise they lose their house.
Do you have a job right now?
I do, yeah.
Okay, so you have like a boss probably. So if she came in and said, hey, I'm going to beat you up and like beat you with a stick, would that be okay?
Not anymore, no, but like if I had done
But
something
it used to be
that
okay.
deserved it.
Like beating people with sticks used to be good.
Yeah, people used to be different, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that sucks, man. You suck. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you sounded really cool at first, but to say that like it used to be good that people got beat up with sticks is garbage, man.
Yeah,
that's
no,
like
I honestly
that's like
like
a really garbage thing to say. You should probably
No,
take that back.
what I'm saying is I can't come to any conclusions about it. Like,
Right. I guess that sucks too. Like, that's what I'm saying. That sucks too. If you're like, I don't know if it's okay that it used to be fine for people to get beat with sticks and be owned, then that still
Yeah,
sucks for me.
you want me to judge the law? I can't judge the law. I can't judge God.
And
But I
that
could
sucks.
say
That's
that,
what I'm saying. That's terrible for you. Yeah.
yeah, I could say that this is bad. Like, it seems bad. I could take on the same opinion as you, and I think argue that same point. But I don't think
Yeah,
it's
do that.
it's-
That's a great idea. Say slavery's bad. The way that they did slavery back then was really bad. Say that
slavery's bad, but God's law is perfect somehow. So I don't get it. You know,
it's like that's a contradiction, though. Dang it.
it's not it's a contradiction that gives me grace.
So it's okay that they were slaves because you get grace from it. That's like the justification. Is that what you mean?
You know, Jesus, like he's dying and suffering for people still because people reject him. You know, he loves us so much.
If this is what it leads to, is like where I don't know if like slavery is okay or not, then I absolutely reject him.
Yeah.
If this is the path, like if you're the future me, like you're the ghost of Christmas future, of Mezzo future. I'm not Christmas, I'm Mezzo. Hi. And it's like, if I become a Christian, then pretty soon I won't be able to know if slavery was good or bad back then. Then I'm going to be like, whoa, reject, keep all that away for sure.
Like, it's just not good to judge the law. You know, like.
Yeah, I mean, that's where I totally agree. I think that laws should be critically looked at. They should be examined. And when they're not, you get monarchical rule. You get horrific leaders who force you into terrible things, like slavery.
Yeah, I mean, I pray for monarchical rule, honestly. There's a Catholic prophecy of the great Catholic monarch at the end of the ages. And
yeah, you want the future to be like one leader in charge of everything. Slaves are back. We're slaves for God. No one gets paid for their job anymore. You can beat people again, just like the good old days, right?
just like Jesus.
Do you like own a dog or anything? Can you just like, because I'm really worried that all the people here kind of hate you right now because of all the like pro-slavery stuff that you've been saying. Can you just maybe like say how cute a dog is just to kind of like
Sure.
put you in a better light real quick?
Yeah, I love dogs. I love all of your dogs, even, you know, the breeds that people might be afraid of. I love you guys. I hope you all come to know Jesus. You know, we're all going to know him someday. Keep me in your prayers.
Anyways, it's nice to know that he's in love with us all. That's good.
Nice. He got paid in chocolate. Nice. Congratulations, Mezzo. Like, he's loading the car with chocolate. How is he going to get that like back home? How is he going to get that? Like, he's going to have a whole other suitcase for all that chocolate. It's so dumb. I'm so happy I wasn't in that commercial. Like, Bridget, don't even worry about Bjorn. Don't get him down here. I'm like totally over it. Anyway, guys, listen to this next clip. When I was a Christian, I never imagined that I would or Christians would defend rape or slavery or any of these other horrible things, but that's what this Christian does before calling me the F slur. And this is all just because I tried to show him that Christians don't offer any semblance of objective morality, but try to enjoy the clip, I guess. BBDs.
I'm looking to help people dump the Bible tonight. It's dump day. What do you like about Christianity?
It gives me salvation and the promise to go to heaven after I pass away. It also gives me a deep understanding of what life is and what we're here to do.
All right, let's start with the first one. So the fear.
No, not fear. I said salvation.
I know, because of fear, right? Like you are afraid to not be saved. The word salvation has save in it. So that means that there's some way that you could be not saved and end up in probably eternal hellfire, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need saving. You need saving from what?
Everyone needs saving.
Yeah. From what?
From the wrath of God.
Right. So God is the villain and the hero in a sense, right? Like you're like, I love Jesus because he's saving me from himself.
No, I'm a Unitarian.
Oh, so you don't believe that Jesus is God? Is Jesus the Son of God or something?
No, I don't believe he's the Son of God either.
How does salvation work?
Yeah, so the Father gives us salvation if anyone decided to read the Bible. I'm against Paul. I think Paul's a fraud because it's very clear and evident.
So you don't believe in Jesus at all?
I feel like he's a chosen servant, like a prophet of God, but he's not God himself.
Did he die for our sins?
Yeah. Not for our sins, no.
Oh, okay. So this is like, it reminds me of the story of the Passover. So God is like, listen, I'm going to kill everyone. I'm going to kill all the firstborns, every single one of them. The way you can stop that is by painting some blood on your doorway. Then I won't kill you. So he becomes both hero and villain at the same time because he arbitrarily makes up these rules.
But I'm assuming you're an atheist, right? As an atheist, can you explain to me why killing or raping is wrong? Objectively?
I don't think it's objective. I don't believe in objective morality. Can you prove why it's objectively wrong?
Well, I don't believe it's wrong. As a Christian, that's what the Bible tells us.
Oh, you think it is right to grape?
Well, it depends if God tells you to do so.
So you don't believe in any morality? I
believe morality from God. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you don't believe in objective morality either. So I don't know why you would say that.
I believe morality comes from God. If God says this is sanctioned, then it's moral.
Yeah. So you're a piece of shit. It's so hard. Yeah, I got to tell you, it's so hard. You try to have an intelligent conversation, and then somebody drops something like that.
So why are you trying to police Christians on what is right and what is wrong?
Based on what I understand to be right and wrong from my perspective. It's what every single one of us do. And that's why we can have the conversation. So if I'm going to sit here and I'm going to say, hey, man, I don't think anyone should be doing any graping. And then you're going to go, I disagree. What if God tells you? I don't fucking care. Even if God came down and told me, I'd say, sorry. I'm not going to hurt somebody. I'm not going to. God. But you're like, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm a piece of garbage. I'll do it. I don't have my own brain. I don't have a backbone. I'm just like a jellyfish.
Rape was in the Old Testament. It wasn't in the New Testament.
It doesn't matter. What are you talking about? You love the Old Testament. You believe in Yahweh. He's your only God. He's the one that was pro-grape the whole time.
We have a different law now.
No, you don't. If you're a Unitarian, you can't get away from the old law. You're stuck in with all the grape, all the slavery.
Why is slavery or grape particularly wrong?
The way we come to morality is by talking it out, and we all have our own individual morality, and then we find other people have similar morality, and we build on it until we have societies.
So what if I come along and say grape is fine, and the Bible?
Then like you just won't be invited into my society, right? And if you were in my society, I'd go, let's put him in jail because we don't want somebody that's going to be going around graping people. Because the people that are getting graped, they don't like it. They don't enjoy it at all. Like that's horrible.
For example, like marital grape was allowed in many Christian countries.
Yeah, so that's wrong, right?
You feel like the Bible got it wrong with marital grape?
Yep. Yeah, I think the Bible got a lot of stuff wrong.
So how did they get marital grape wrong?
Objective morality. You want to say that murder is wrong, and you know what? I think it is. But that's just an opinion, like saying this song is the shit. But your God loves to murder babies. claim that you can't prove, loosely based on a Bible that is full of abuse. It's just another claim that you can't prove. Morality is subjective.
They can't hear you over the song. Just a piece of shit. Why that? Where do these people come from? Are these really the Christians? When I was a Christian, I thought that these types of ideas were the reasons we needed Christianity, right? Like when you're a Christian, you're sold on the evils of the world, right? The world's so evil. People are basically evil. And we need God to take out the heart of stone and put in the heart of flesh. We need that change, right? But then I'm talking to these people and I can't believe that they're real. Like they must be trolls or something. But if they're Christians, then they're the ones that are doing the evil. Like I'm the one that I don't want any of those evils. I don't know. Like, what am I doing wrong? Am I going too hard? Mezzo, am I going too hard today?
I'm a little bit upset with you, if I'm being honest.
What did I do?
This new bit you're doing where people call you the F slur, that's kind of my thing.
Oh, that you started that.
Yeah, people come to watch my live to see like which Christians will call me the F slur, and now you're kind of like taking right over.
I thought yours was soy boy.
Yeah, you get that sometimes. I get your father probably hates you a lot.
BBD. Hey, finally both here.
Oh, there you are. Finally, let's do the outro.
Yep, take it away, buddy.
Well, that's it from us. I'm Joel.
I'm Mezzo.
And I'm Joel. And just make sure you follow Bad Bible Debates wherever good podcasts are sold.
Yeah, or wherever you normally hijack them from.
And if you can, like it or leave a comment or anything on whatever platform you're using, please do that too.
That's right, buddy. And be sure to follow me on YouTube and TikTok. That's where we record all of these lives from. So if you want to catch the whole thing live, we got a lot of stuff going on over there.
We're always going live on TikTok and on YouTube. So yeah, definitely follow Mezzo there. And also, hey, look, follow me on TikTok, Joel Reads Bible, or subscribe on YouTube at Joel Reads Bible.
Oh, right. I guess I should say my handle is Mezzo_WS. That's pretty much the same on everything.
That's it from us for now. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Bad Bible Debates.
Dude, I think that went really well.
Actually, you know what? I think that was one of our best.
Oh, I wouldn't say best. I mean, it was okay.
No, I'm not joking.
I really liked your part.
You're so hard on yourself. You know, just listen closer to mine, and maybe you'll get it. You know, I think eventually you will get it. BBD.